In 218 BC, the Second Punic War erupted between Rome and Carthage. At its center stood a brilliant but feared commander, Hannibal Barca, son of Hamilcar, who swore eternal hatred against Rome. Defying logic and terrain, Hannibal crossed the Alps with tens of thousands of soldiers and elephants, shocking the Roman Republic. Rome suffered humiliating defeats at Trebia and Lake Trasimene, with thousands dead or scattered. Morale was low, but vengeance stirred in the Senate. So they assembled their largest army ever, 80,000 infantry and 6,000 cavalry, led by 2 consuls, to crush Hannibal once and for all at the town of Cannae. But they had no idea that Hannibal had planned the most perfect military ambush in history. The Romans, commanded by consuls Paulus and Varro, were confident. They positioned themselves in dense formation, relying on sheer manpower to break Carthaginian lines. Their mistake: overconfidence. Hannibal's army, though smaller, around 50,000 troops, was a blend of Iberians, Gauls, Numidian cavalry, and elite African infantry. He arranged them in a seemingly vulnerable crescent formation with weaker troops in the center and the elite on the flanks. To Rome, it looked like an invitation. To Hannibal, it was a trap in motion. On August 2, 216 BC, the Romans charged. Their heavy infantry slammed into the center of Hannibal's line. Carthaginian light infantry began to fall back, slowly and deliberately. It wasn't a rout. It was bait. As the Romans pushed deeper, their tight formation became cramped. Communication broke down. They were pushing into a pocket, and didn't even realize it. On the wings, Hannibal's African veterans stood like iron. They held the ground, waiting for the order to close in. This is where military legend is made. With a sudden surge, Hannibal's elite flanks swung inward, smashing into the Roman sides. Simultaneously, his Numidian cavalry, having driven off the Roman horsemen, returned and sealed the rear. The Roman army, 80,000 men, was surrounded. There was no room to fight. No room to run. Men were crushed, suffocated, stabbed. The legion's discipline broke down into chaos and screaming. This was the infamous double envelopment, a maneuver so perfect that it's still taught in military academies today. It had never been done before. It has rarely been done since. The aftermath was horrific. Over 50,000 Roman soldiers lay dead. Entire legions gone. Roman nobility lost many sons, cousins, and future leaders that day. It was a disaster that shook the Republic to its core. But Hannibal made one mistake. He didn't march on Rome. He hoped the allies of Rome would defect. Most didn't. Rome, wounded but unbroken, swore an oath. We will never surrender. Carthage will burn before we fall. And so the greatest military defeat in Roman history became the fuel for its greatest revenge. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more historical content.